Hey everybody. So this is not the easiest message to send out. As many of you know, because you followed me from days wondering Woodsman and stuff like that, I had a surgery back in February 1st, which involved I had osteomyelitis, which is an infection of the bone. I had injured myself about 2 years ago and tore up the bottom of my feet, and you go through a process over the last 2 years basically of healing, infection, healing, and probably in that period of time I had sepsis a couple times is what they think, because I had sepsis at the time of the surgery. It was January 30th I went in and they had to stabilize me, and then the first I had the surgery. They removed second and third toe next to the big toe, and then the two metatarsals, which are the bone from the toe to the ankle, they had to remove. So I have no bone structure in the middle of my foot. Because of that weight distribution change, basically, it really affects my ability. I mean, anytime you have foot surgery, it's because it's your base, it's a major loss. It doesn't sound like much when you think about it, but once you actually go through it, it's pretty rough. And at that time, I also got diagnosed with diabetes type 2. So that also affects the whole process. And there's a bunch of other things with scoliosis and fibromyalgia that I had from the past that sort of affect this. Like the left side, I don't have a whole lot of feeling. And if you watch the videos, you've seen some of my struggles and where I've been at and that type of stuff. But anyways, that's affected my ability to be able to work, which thankfully I was able to get a job with a friend who has a landscaping company, and him and his foreman really helped me out, because I don't think in most cases, especially with the COVID thing, it's been very hard to find the type of job that I probably should be doing, because what I was doing I probably shouldn't have been. Ultimately probably hurt myself a little bit more. It was good for me in a lot of ways, but in other ways probably not as great. But so it's been a struggle trying to sort of and waiting through the process of trying to get disability, which I just found out that that's probably not a high likelihood, which I'm still going to fight. I may have to start the process over to a degree, but I'm still going to make an attempt there. But at the end of the day, I have to go out and I have to get myself work now, which it sounds promising. I may be able to get in, excuse me, a retirement. I think it's a retirement village, doing like landscape maintenance, like property maintenance, that type of thing. Which, being what it is, it should be something I can handle, and from going forward, I should be all right. Problem I ran into is basically, at most I'm able to work 20 or 24 hours a week, and that takes care of my basics, but not like rent and stuff like that. Which the church that I've rented from have been exceptional. They could not have been any more gracious. They couldn't have shown the spirit of Christ any more than they did. But there is a point where they've got bills to pay, and when the disability thing fell through, any chance of me with the retroactive, with the housing assistance, I have no way of paying that back. So basically, in essence, I have to be out of here by the 31st. So I'm in the process of trying to figure things out and go from there. But a few people had contacted me about they had given in the previous GoFundMe that I had back in February, which was to help me get through those couple of months with medical assistance and bills and that type of stuff. Because for 2.5 months, I'm not able to work because I can't. I just went through a major surgery. I had a PICC line in me at that time, so it wasn't even an option. And yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that it's been sort of a rough last 12 years, and it's right now sort of sucks. Uh, Trying to keep good attitude, and I haven't really said anything to a whole lot of people because it's embarrassing in a lot of ways as well. And you feel like a failure. You understand in a lot of ways it's not the case, but it's still there. And that's the reason I put the GoFundMe up again, so that it is legit. The reason I did that is just because I'm just grasping for straws right now. I'd love to be able to stay where I'm at, but I don't see that probably being an option. So at the very least, I have something that, now if this job comes through and it's something I can handle, then I'm going to be in decent shape. But it is one of those things that it's never easy to sort of put your pride down and just ask for help. And in a lot of ways too, you sort of wonder, is that the right thing to do either? Because so many of you gave so generously and were so kind, and there's a number of you once again who have given generously. I want to give a shout out to all them. I'd like to also say a shout out to Jason, who gave again, because I have no way of really contacting you and saying thank you to all those like Kate and Colleen, Julia. I have to look at I'm sorry that I can't remember all the names, but it just, everybody's been so kind, and I'm not asking for anybody to give or anything like that. I just want to explain so people know that this is legit. I didn't put anything out there. Cliff doesn't even technically know yet. But, you know, it's not something that you really, it's not easy to ask. And this isn't one of those videos either. It's not a feel bad for me. This is life. I mean, it's reality. Stuff happens and you either roll with the punches or you give up. And giving up isn't an option. And I got a really cool message last night from a gentleman who's going through quite a bit, and he talked about how much my videos mean to him, and it makes you realize that what you're doing, sometimes you sort of think, is there any kind of significance to this whatsoever? But just being able to help that one person get through their time period and what it means to them, it means that at least I'm doing something worthwhile, something lasting. And I thank you guys a lot, and I'll thank you again for giving me that opportunity to do this. And I'm going to continue to do this and work my way through this. Things are going to work out. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, it's just a couple days after all this sort of went down. And like I said, there's nobody to blame here. There's nobody to be like angry at. It's life. You know, and life is a beautiful thing, and I foresee that there's a lot of good things upcoming for me, but it's just hard to see that right now. Yeah, nobody ever wants to be in this position. Hopefully this winds out working out and go from there. But, you know, I already have somebody that's offered me to, if I need to, I can stay with and stuff like that for the short term to make things work. And I have a number of other people to call to. I'm just struggling right now with wanting to, how I want to approach this and put this up, because it is one of those things that it's not a fun thing. I mean, anybody that's ever been in this type of position, it's not. It is what it is. But I did feel it was necessary when getting those messages. I need to say this is legit. I'm not standing here with a can saying you have to give. It's just, if you're able to and you feel it in your heart, great. I really do appreciate it. Trust me, I really do, because, you know, any bit helps. It's just one of those things that we all have those times in life when we're down, and this just happens to be my time right now, and it is what it is. And like I said before, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna make it through. It's just you know, it is what it is. But I just wanted to clarify and just say this is what's actually going on. I am going to have a regular vlog at some point, because I do have some more mail that came in that I want to thank those people. And then I also want to say thank you to all the people. On the GoFundMe, they have a thing there where you can say thank you to everybody. The reason I brought up Jason is because he had given otherwise through PayPal, and I tried to message, but it wouldn't let me. Because I do want to say a special thank you to all those people, because it does mean a lot. Because, like I said, every little bit helps you to get through, you know, when you're doing something like, you know, going through something like this and trying to figure out what's my next steps here, where do I go from here. You know, it's your home, and, you know, it's, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, circumstances are what they are. And, you know, like I said in my Thanksgiving video, I'm very thankful despite all this. And I knew at that stage this was probably coming. It's inevitable. It just is what it is. And it's like, if you don't have any way of saying here on forward, and it's as well, like here, it's like, unless I have something solid and I can handle the job that I'm going to try to do, am I going to be back in the same spot again in another month or two? It's not fair to them. It's not fair to me. It's a stress that's been sort of been there. Like I said, I haven't said anything about it just because it's my problem, and well, it's a whole thing there with just nobody wants to really talk about this type of stuff because it is what it is. But anyways, I just want to say thank you again. And, despite everything, it's very easy to be thankful. I'm alive. That's always a plus. And, it jokingly, and I'm hoping it's true, you hope that it can't go anywhere but up from here. So it's the place where I'm at. And I really do thank all of you for how much you've given, how kind you've been to me. And it does mean the world. And thank you once again. And with that, we'll say that we'll see you all about town. Take care, everybody. Thank you.